Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our lunchtime meditation series.
Hello.
I am Ann Casapini, and I'm just going to mute everyone so we have better sound. There we go. So today's meditation practice, we will start, just to give you the overview, we'll start with a centering. I'm going to share some ways to add substance to your practice. We will do 10 minutes of moving meditation. We will do, I want to introduce you to a practice called Tonglen. Then we'll do a practice of Tonglen. I'll share more ways to practice meditation on the fly, and then we'll end with a short chant. So first, I invite you all to find a comfortable seat. So you can sit on your chair to the middle front of your chair with your feet grounded on the floor. Sense that the weight is balanced under your feet and that the weight is balanced under your hips. You can rest your hands palms down on your lap for more grounding. Gently now lean back a little bit so you're in a more receptive position rather than a doing position like we often are. And sense that your spine lengthens, tailbone draws down, and from the base of your skull, there's a lengthening, a telescoping upwards. Allow the heart to lift. Allow the shoulder blades to move in toward the spine like loving hands on your back. And let the lower jaw separate from the upper jaw. So you're comfortable there, not holding any tension. Perhaps close your eyes all the way or 3/4 and gaze at a point on the floor. And I invite you to just say to yourself now, I have arrived. I can stop running now. For these next 45 minutes, I will be practicing meditation with these fellow practitioners. We have arrived. We can all stop running. And gently breathe in. And gently breathe out. And gently breathe in. And gently breathe out. I'd like to dedicate this practice today to everyone in Ukraine, wishing for peace. Now I'll play a bell just as a gentle reminder to come to this moment right now. So please continue to sit comfortably while I share a few ways to add more substance to your meditation practice. Then we'll stand and move for a few minutes. So it's very important to set a clear intention. For example, you might say to yourself, I want to let my body and my mind rest for a little while. Or I'm going to let my body sit still for a little while. I'm going to let go of life for a little bit, right? Or let go of all the worries and the concerns for a little bit. You can also make your space more appealing, beautiful in some way. You might want to practice in a space that has beautiful lighting. It's very well lit. Or perhaps near a window with a view of nature. You might even simply put a single flower in a small vase. So you make this space more appealing, so you want to go there. You want to go and sit and do your practice. You want to make sure that you're comfortable, whether you're sitting or lying down. Just be comfortable. And I suggest that you stick to 5 minutes every day. If you're a beginner, you can even set a timer. 5 minutes is a doable amount of time, so you can just accomplish that and find 5 minutes, ideally at the same time of day, every day, whatever works for you. It's better to be consistent, 5 minutes daily, rather than trying to do 20 minutes one day a week, right? We are building a new healthy habit, and that's a great way to do it. You can also reward yourself at the end of the week once you've done it, and feel free to always, play music for yourself as you practice. All right, let's go to the mat now. You can come to standing, and we'll do a little bit of moving meditation, movement and breath. When we bring the body and the mind and the breath together, it's very calming for the nervous system. All right, so I will stand. I've changed my glasses, and I'll come to standing. Now you can see that I have a chair here, and you might like to also place the chair nearby. It's good for balance. Yeah. So take your feet outer hip width apart, just with your hands on your hips. Feet are pointing forward, bend your knees and just ground some energy into the foundation, into the feet. Very good. And we'll start by inhaling, lifting the arms shoulder height, exhaling, releasing the hands down by your hips. Inhale, lift the arms shoulder height, exhale, move the hands back down to the sides of your hips. I'll move back a little bit. Inhale, lift your arms, exhale. So the breath initiates the movement, and the movement fills the breath. Now let's go a little bit higher, breathing in to your comfort level. Don't go to pain. Breathing out. Gently, gentle. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, the breath initiates the movement fills the breath. Very good. So often our body's in one place, our mind is in another. So right now we bring it all together to calm the nervous system, as I said. Please place your hands on your shoulders. Now, rooting through your feet again. You can bend your knees so you know you're not locking, just bend and straighten. And then inhale, open the arms out to the side, open your fingers, exhale, touch the shoulders. Inhale, lift your heart as you open the arms, exhale, touch the shoulders. Breathing in, open, breathing out, close. Breathing in, open, breathing out, close. Good, one more, breathing in, breathing out. Good, and release those arms. With hands on your hips, bend your knees again. You can keep a bend in your knees for this one. I'd like you to bow your torso forward on the inhale, come around halfway, and then complete the exhale, swinging the torso around to a full circle. Inhale, halfway to the back, exhale to the front. Good. Inhale, changing directions, exhale. And again, if any of the movements that I suggest don't feel good, feel free to skip it. Inhale, come back halfway, exhale, swing round to complete the circle. One more. Inhale and exhale. Really good. Then come up to standing. Now I'll show from the side. With your knees bent, I'd like you to, a little bit bent, inhale, lift the arms up as high as you can make it. Exhale, lower the hands to your thigh bones, bend your knees and round forward. Just bow forward. Then inhale, lift the arms, come to standing tall. Exhale, slide the hands down to your thigh bones and gently bow. Come on up, inhale, lift the arms to the ceiling. Exhale, slide the hands down your shins and bow. Very gently press on your thigh bones and come up to standing. Good. Holding onto the chair if you need it for balance now. I'd like you to inhale, lift one knee, exhale, straighten the leg. Inhale, bend the knee, exhale, place it on the floor. Good. Inhale, bend your knee, the other knee. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, touch the floor. One more on each side. Inhale. And exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, replace the foot to the floor. Inhale, lift your knee. Exhale, point the foot and straighten. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, place it on the floor. Very good. Move a little bit away from the chair so you have some room to do a circle with your foot and leg. I'd like you to inhale, slide one foot forward, and then exhale to the back. And then inhale halfway and exhale back to center. Okay. Inhale forward and about halfway to the back. Exhale all the way to the back. Notice I'm bowing my torso a little forward to counter. Inhale, swing it forward, and exhale back to the starting position. Inhale, slide the foot forward and exhale to the back. Inhale and exhale to the front. Inhale, slide your foot forward, exhale to the back. Exhale, sliding it out to the side and come forward. Good. Now, facing the chair, you can hold on lightly. Your feet can turn out. Actually, your feet can have heels together, toes out, like that. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, straighten. Sense your breath. Inhale and exhale. Feel your feet. Inhale and exhale. One more. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Now, if you'd like to try this one, you come onto your tiptoes as you inhale. Heels are raised. Exhale, lower the heels. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale and return to the floor. Inhaling, inhaling, inhaling. Exhaling, exhaling, exhaling. Inhale onto your tiptoes, holding onto the chair for balance. Exhale. One last. Really good. Just stretch out the back today. Walk your feet back into so that they're under your hips, and you bend your knees and just stretch out your spine a little bit. Bend your knees. Breathe here. And then walk forward. Very good. Now I invite you to sit down as I share with you a little bit of an introduction to something called Tonglen. So I'll just talk for a couple of minutes and then we'll do a Tonglen practice. So Tonglen, T-O-N-G-L-E-N, Tonglen. It's really a compassion meditation. It's an ancient spiritual method of cultivating compassion for all sentient beings, thus cultivating a direct healing experience within one's own mind. So originating from Tibetan Buddhism, the word Tonglen is Tibetan for giving and taking, or sending and receiving. It involves the use of a visualization to awaken compassion and become liberated from age-old patterns of selfishness. To practice Tonglen, you visualize yourself taking in suffering of others on the in-breath, and on the out-breath, sending out relief. We breathe in feelings that we would generally hope to get rid of, and we breathe out that which we find pleasurable and that we usually grasp for and cling to for dear life. So we actually reverse the logic of avoiding suffering. Usually we do everything we can to avoid suffering, and we do all we can to seek pleasure. And this Tonglen practice reverses it, begins to break down habitual patterns of selfishness, which then really introduces us to a far larger view of reality. It helps us to move from judgment, isolation, and ignorance to caring, connection, and understanding. It's really a method for overcoming the fear of suffering and for dissolving the tightness of our hearts. Primarily, it's a method for awakening compassion that is inherent in all of us, no matter how we might feel. So sometimes people worry that by doing this practice, they might absorb suffering or negative energy of others, but it's not the case. So you don't have to worry about that. You're simply using your breath to acknowledge dark emotional states, and then visualizing that suffering transforming into love and compassion. All right, so let's prepare to do a Tonglen practice. And it's a practice that I will guide you through. So once again, please find a comfortable seat. Sit to the middle front of your chair, feet on floor, weight is balanced. Weight is balanced under your hips. Your hands can rest in your lap. Your spine is long. Even float the shoulders up and take them back a little bit so your heart lifts, the sternum, the breastbone lifts. Sides of throat draw back. Again, you can close your eyes or 3/4 close your eyes and gaze at a point in front of you. Begin to follow your breath. Follow the in-breath. Follow the out-breath. We'll do this practice for about 13 minutes today. I will ring a bell when we're done. Imagine a sense of openness in your mind and in your heart. Imagine that your heart is big enough to accommodate everything. Gently breathe in and gently breathe out. Allowing yourself to feel quite relaxed. And we'll start by bringing to mind a friend or a loved one whom you know is experiencing emotional discomfort or suffering. And imagine that he or she is standing right in front of you. Visualize them. Visualize their suffering as a dark, heavy cloud surrounding him or her. And now gently move your awareness to your heart area. And breathe in deeply, imagining yourself inhaling those dark, heavy, uncomfortable, cloudy feelings directly into your heart. And then as you breathe out from the heart area, imagine that your heart is a source of light, bright, warm, compassionate light. And then you are breathing that light into the person, your friend or loved one. You're breathing that light directly into that person who is suffering. And as you receive and you send, you imagine that the dark feelings are disappearing without a trace into that light, the light of your heart. You imagine that you are transforming their suffering into a bright, warm light at the center of your heart, alleviating him or her of his or her suffering. With every inhale, you breathe in their sadness, visualized as a cloud, a dark cloud over them. With every exhale, you imagine sending out light, transforming their suffering into bright light, compassionate, warm light. Inhale suffering, exhale compassion. Inhale darkness, Exhale, transforming it into light. Receiving and sending. Receiving, breathing in their suffering. Breathing out relief for their suffering. And now I'd like to invite you to extend your compassion out to a stranger or a general population, for example, the people in Ukraine, people that are experiencing the cloud of war, the dark heaviness of needing to leave their homes, their lives being turned upside down. And as you did moments ago for your loved one, imagine inhaling these dark, cloudy feelings away from those people in your own heart. And as the dark feelings settle into your heart, imagine they are being transformed, disappearing without a trace into the light of your compassionate heart, and sending that light directly into their hearts. You can imagine these people being enveloped by calm and understanding, comforting light that you are breathing out from your heart. Once again, you can visualize their pain, their suffering. And as you breathe in, you imagine taking it in. And then as you breathe out, you transform the suffering from the light of your heart, the light of your compassion. You send it back out into the world. The more you practice this, the more your compassion expands naturally. Breathing in, receiving. Breathing out, sending light and compassion. Breathing in, suffering, sadness, fear. Sending out ease, calm, clarity, love, wisdom. when we are willing to stay even for a moment with uncomfortable energy, we gradually learn not to fear that energy. And as we do this Tonglen practice for another person or other people's, it ventilates our limited personal reference points, our prejudices, any closed-mindedness that might be the source of pain. We aspire to keep our hearts open in the present moment, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in and breathing out. Transforming suffering with every breath. That willingness to open the heart, open the mind, willingness to hold it all and transform it. And now you can gently release that practice. And please feel free to move any part of your body that needs a little bit of movement. Thank you for trying, and some of you it may be a very new practice. There's a wonderful teacher named Pema Chodron, whose words I have used today. And she says, she even suggests that we can do Tonglen practice like on the spot. You don't need to be formally seated, in any kind of meditative position or place. She said, if you see someone on the street and you see them suffering in that moment, we can practice Tonglen on the fly, on the spot, in our daily life. And it will grow your heart. It will grow your compassion. So that's good to know. Does anyone have any questions about that Tonglen practice before I continue with the next few minutes of class?
Oh, thank you very much. That was very, very relaxing.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. So what I wanted to share with you today was a few more ways. Last week, we talked about a few ways to practice meditation on the fly, because many of us feel very pressed for time. So I just want to share with you just a few suggestions. One way you can practice meditation on the fly is to decide that you're going to deeply listen to others. Like when you're speaking with someone, when you commit to listening, to give your full attention without multitasking, without looking at your phone, without thinking about what you're going to say next. This is a beautiful practice. Another thing that you can do, excuse me, is to speak mindfully, pausing before speaking, asking yourself, is it necessary? Is it harmful? Is it true? And another way is to notice any automatic judgments that arise. You might just see someone that you don't even know, and some judgment might arise. It might be positive, might be negative, it might be neutral, but you notice. And you notice your habitual reactions connected to them. Do you find yourself contracting from anything unpleasant, or clinging to the pleasant, or becoming bored with anything that's neutral? So you begin to develop an awareness of the effects effects of these automatic reactions, that the effects that it might be having on you. And again, you can notice multitasking. When you are multitasking, note the contrast in feeling when you bring yourself fully attend one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Meditation can really help us build focus so that we can do one thing at a time for a sustained period of time. So I hope that those suggestions are helpful.